We turn our attention to the Green Bay Packers. Pete Dougherty covers the Packers for the Green Bay Press-Gazette. Pete, how would you sum up what happened last night?
Oh, there's a couple ways of looking at it. I mean, they looked like a bad team for a lot of the night, and I think my take's a very much minority take, but I think Tennessee was a really, really, really tough matchup for them. The Packers are a limited team. They have to be able to run the ball. They just absolutely have to. And this was a team they were not going to run the ball against. You force these guys to throw. A weird thing to say with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, right? But you force them to throw. They've been bad all year when they've had to throw a lot. Rodgers threw 37 passes. That right there tells you it was a bad night for the Packers. He's got to be more in the 25 or under range. And they were not going to run the ball against this team. And the Packers' run defense has been borderline brutal a lot of times this year. And they're going against Derrick Henry. Now, they had a decent game against them, but they totally had to sell out to stop the run. And Ryan Tannehill, of all guys, is covering them up because he's going against one-on-one coverage the whole time. So I can't say that this was a stunning loss. They did look bad, but they actually have something going now with Christian Watson that they didn't have even 2 weeks ago. It's way too little too late. I mean, it sure looks like that.
What about Rodgers' thumb? How serious is it? Had some, wobbly passes there. Threw a lot of passes for a guy if he has something serious going on with that thumb. Your thoughts moving forward with that injury?
He's had it for, it's got to be at least, I got to go back and look, but probably 5 weeks or so. And he had it last week, and he was really, really sharp last week. So I can't say that that's very likely the problem here. It was just he had a bad game accuracy-wise. He missed, 3 or 4 throws that you got to hit that he's made his living on. And but like I said, I thought this was a really, really tough matchup for him too. Tennessee's not that good a team. They're not one of the top 5 teams in the league. But I don't know, if you went through the league and picked out the 5 teams the Packers would least want to play, they might be on that list.
At what point does Jordan Love see some airtime?
I don't think till they're mathematically out of it. And then I think they have to give him a look, don't they? I mean, I was a couple of weeks ago before the Dallas game, I was thinking, man, that's going to be pretty soon. And then they played so well against Dallas and gave themselves some life. And that's why this was I think they were stunned by getting beat. I think they thought they had really found something and turned the corner.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think they're improved from a couple weeks ago, but this was a really tough matchup for them. And it's got to be, they got to see what Love can do. If they're out of it, they've got to see what they have there, because they've got to make a decision on the 5th-year option. And they can't have both him and Rodgers on the roster in 24, but they have to make that decision next May. So, that's a hard call. And they either have to work out with Rodgers that he's going to retire, or that they might have to deal him, or they'd have to deal Love. I mean, they have to do something there.
Well, let me go back to what you were saying about Rodgers. The likelihood he comes back, given what this season has been, we always hear athletes say, or we think they're going to say, oh, you can't go out this way. Well, can Aaron Rodgers go out this way?
I find it really, really hard to believe that he'll retire. There's probably several reasons, but one of them is he's got a $59 million guaranteed contract. As long as he doesn't retire, somebody's going to have to pay him that $59 million. I mean, how many people are going to walk away from that? I'm thinking he also, and he's not going to, if Brady retires this offseason, he's not going to want to retire the same offseason he does. I mean, they're both going to go in the Hall of Fame on their first shot. I don't think he's going to want to be the number 2 guy at that Hall of Fame ceremony.
Do you think Brady is going to retire?
Oh, I don't know if he will or not. Well, maybe not. Maybe he'll be playing 30 years from now.
I don't know. It feels like if you said who's going to retire first, I might say Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I was thinking Brady's probably going to retire, and all of a sudden, things change so fast in this league. I mean, 2 weeks is like a lifetime in this league sometimes.
Yeah, I just wonder, as it felt like Devonte Adams left, and then the Packers lost their identity, or like, now what do we do? And who's our go-to guy? I can't pin it all on Devonte Adams, who, by the way, the Raiders aren't any good either, and he was supposed to go there and help them.
their receiving core is young. They got new guys. It's not just overflowing with talent. I don't think it's as bad as everybody thinks it is. And Christian Watson certainly has talent. He's been hurt almost the whole time. This Romeo Dobbs, I don't know if you saw him at all. He was their 4th round pick. There's real ability with this guy. I mean, this guy can play. Now he's out with a high ankle sprain. He's missed, I think this was his 3rd game. So he's going to miss at least one more, I would guess, maybe a couple more. But actually going into next year, if they finish pretty decently, they're probably going to feel like they have something going because those are 2 pretty talented young receivers.
You seem really calm, Pete.
I just woke up, Dan. I didn't get to bed till 3. So
and by the way, with the background here, you look like you're in heaven. You look like you're an angel.
I don't feel like it. It's awful cold outside right now.
It's great to talk to you, and thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for having me.
That's Pete Dougherty, covers the Packers for the Green Bay Press-Gazette. He kind of, has that, that light backlit there.
Like St. Peter sitting next to him.
St. Pete. No, he is St. Pete. Yeah, St. Pete there.
Pete, welcome.
It's your time.
Come in. Welcome to the pearly gates. Well, thank you, Pete. He's very calm. Like, all right, nothing. Don't worry about it. So what?